Hey everybody, this is Tim Jordan from the Private Label Legion.
And this is Bradley Sutton from Helium 10.
And we are about to show you the coolest and most effective new software tool on the market to find your next private label product.
Check it out.
Hey everybody, this is Tim Jordan of the Private Label Legion. And today we are going to do some, probably epic is the right word to say, some epic content for you.
No pressure.
I've got as our guest Bradley Sutton, who is the, what do you call yourself, the success manager over at Helium 10, something like that?
Yeah, I got a promotion actually. So I used to
Really?
be the success manager. Yeah, now I'm the director of something. Let me think. I think director of training and customer success.
Nice. All right. So let me give all of you listeners the backstory. Bradley, a couple weeks ago, maybe a few weeks ago, called me up when I was on vacation. He says, Tim, I got to show you something. And I'm like, all right, I'm in this log cabin with my family at, 11
I'm in a
p.m.
log cabin too.
Yeah, at 11 p.m., but why wouldn't I? So we sit down and he starts showing me this brand new tool that Helium 10 has dropped. And it was mind-blowing. Like, we probably stayed on for an hour, him walking me through this tool, because it was so amazing to me. And it was amazing in a good way and a bad way. In a good way, it literally shortens the time span that it takes to use the same techniques that we've been using to find products that are in demand but not really saturated on Amazon, right? So things that took us, 20 steps to accomplish, now this tool is kind of accomplishing them in just one or two. The bad, scary part was he started pulling the software up and he started finding our products. And I was like there were screens he was pulling up. I'm like, Bradley, delete the software, delete it, like kill this feature, because it was literally pulling up like these little, like golden nugget products that we've been selling recently and are awesome. So we've kind of debated on this for a while and decided, hey, if this service, if this tool is going to be out there, we want to at least show you how to use it. That way, as you're working to find Amazon products, you can find good ones and not follow that same old bullcrap, saturated, mainstream private label method crap that's out there. We want to steer you away from that. So we got Bradley on. We're going to jump into this tool. Bradley, why don't you kind of introduce the tool? And let's also assume that everybody that's listening knows about Helium 10 already. And for those of you that don't, click the show notes below. We've got a link to Helium 10 and like their own Learn page where they can teach you all about the tools. We're skipping through that and we're going directly into this new tool, which is the Blackbox, which has been around, but the keyword section. So Bradley, if you would explain what Blackbox is, just in general.
Yeah, so Blackbox is our product research tool. And the traditional way of finding products, still a lot of people use it, and there's nothing wrong with it. You can sit there for hours and have fun. A lot of us like following these rabbit trails that we go through when we find it. But now we were like, a lot of people are saying, hey, we'd love an opportunity to kind of reverse that methodology. Instead of trying to find the product, then trying to go out and making sure that there's enough demand and what's driving its sales. Like, let's start with the demand. In other words, let's start with the keyword. And we know Tim loves keywords, all right? So let's start with the keyword and try and find products that might show that, hey, they're not very optimized, or it's not a great listing, or as a whole, the market isn't saturated. So what we came up with was a black box for keywords, where now instead of searching for an individual product, we're searching for an individual keyword or keyword phrase that has demand. So we can go ahead and, you could see there's tons of filters, as you guys can see here on my screen. We're just going to use a few of these. And that's why, plus two, that, hey, not everybody is going to do the same thing, because there's literally, I'm not a mathematician, but there's an infinite number of combinations of filters you can use here. You can use one filter, you can use 7 filters in different, unless you're going to copy this exact video, you shouldn't have to worry too much about, oh my goodness, what if somebody in Timbuktu is doing the exact same search as me? And that's one of the beauties about this tool. So the first thing I like to do is, personally, and again, this is just me, you guys don't have to do this, I like to just search in certain categories. You could just open it up, but Tim, why don't you give me like 3 or 4 categories at once that I can search for?
Yeah, so I really like simple. I don't like electronics. I don't like hazmat stuff. So let's do, let's start off with, oh, you're scrolling so fast.
Okay, let me start.
All right, home and kitchen. Here. Let's do home and kitchen.
Home and kitchen.
Industrial and scientific, which sounds ominous, but it's pretty easy. Let's do kitchen and dining, and let's do office products.
Got it.
And I stayed away from food. I stayed away from pets. I stayed away from baby because baby is actually pretty complicated to sell in because you have to have all sorts of certifications and safety stuff. So let's start. I mean, surely there's going to be some.
No cell phones, Tim? I mean, isn't that where the opportunity's at?
Cell phone accessories? Yeah. No, don't sell cell phone accessories.
All right. Now, the other thing that, again, I like to do is I like to look at search volume because, again, this is a great way to show demand. These numbers are estimates, of course. However, we're highly confident in our estimates because, we've compared it against, what the historical numbers are. You can compare it against even current trends such as brand analytics, and it's usually like right on there. So, again, there is no set search volume that says something is in high demand or low demand. We could find a product that might by itself only have a specific keyword that only has 100 search volume or 200 search volume, but it's because it's an emerging trend. So one of the first questions I always get is, well, what search volume should I put? What signifies good demand? All right, and there's no correct answer.
Well, it depends on who you ask. There's so many people out there that have a correct answer, and that correct answer is 10,000 searches or 9,000 searches. That's all bull crap. If those of you that are listening come across a keyword that has 10,000 searches a month, be very, very careful that's not already saturated or going to be saturated. And we have other content that covers that. And also, so like what Bradley was saying is maybe it's up and coming and we have other ways to look at that. But you can also stack multiple keywords to a product. So if the product is garlic press, and don't sell a garlic press, but if it was garlic press, the keywords could be garlic press, garlic squisher, press for garlic, garlic mincer. And like if all of those had 1,000 searches a month, they would stack up and it'd be 4,000 searches that lead to the same product. So keep in mind, search volume here can be somewhat low, which I like, and nobody else is telling you that, but it absolutely works. So what do you think? We don't want something with no searches, but what's a good number?
Well, here's the thing too. What I'm going to put here, I'm going to put a semi-high. I've gone on some of my demos as high as like 25,000 just because I was like, okay, surely I'm not going to find one for here. And sure enough, something comes up. But here's the thing. For those, probably whatever comes up here, if I was to do a search of over 25,000, might not be one that we would pick. But guess what? Every single time that I have ended up on a product that did turn out to be good or one of Tim's products, it's because I start with this and then it gives me other ideas. Like it'll take me into a category that might be emerging. And then I find these other products that's like, whoa, look at that. Then I start, using the Tim method and, validated it on outside of Amazon, which, I'm sure he's taught you guys a lot. We can maybe talk about that today, but I'm just going to throw in a random, let's just go between 5,000 and 15,000.
Yep.
And for me, the first one that I do is review count. Basically what this means is, hey, we're looking at the top products of this keyword and on average, what's the average number of reviews? I've shown you guys examples like if you were to do this on collagen peptides, the average number of reviews is something ridiculous like 3,000. So if you have a brand new product, it would be impossible for you to stick on page one with a 5 review product because everybody's gonna be like, no, I'm gonna pick the 3,000. So at the same time, that the collagen peptides is pretty well established. Those guys have been selling for a long time. But if I can find a keyword that has a lot of searches, in my opinion, a lot of searches, maybe not another opinion, but has less than 50 reviews on average, it's like, holy cow, this must be a newer niche. The other thing I do is I put a minimum word count of 2. This again is not mandatory. You could go 3, 4, whatever, but I like to weed out the one word keywords because in my experience, there's not a lot of buyer intent with a one word keyword. Usually the one word keywords that have a lot of search volume are kind of like people are browsing, kitchen or office. They're not going to buy something on the first page of office or kitchen. They're just like trying to browse to get ideas or something.
Yeah. And remember, we're talking about keywords. We're in the tab in Blackbox. It says keywords. So the word count is literally how many keywords, right? Exactly. So this is like, so we don't get a result for shoes because there's not a whole lot of buyer intent for shoes.
Yeah. And so here we've got.
Whoa. Did you know you could buy stray kids on Amazon?
I think this came up in another search. I think this is actually a music band or something. Let me look at this real quick. I swear, it was something weird like this. This might be the one I'm thinking of. View on Amazon. Yeah. So this must be some kind of like I don't know. I wouldn't say EDM. I'm pretty good with knowing EDM. Oh, it's K-pop.
Oh, okay.
K-pop band. Okay.
So what's interesting, go ahead and back to Blackbox. But those of you that just saw what happened, on the far right in the actions, he just opened up the Amazon listings for Stray Kids, which is basically the search results for the first page of Stray Kids. And you notice, and he didn't even notice he did this, but he said, oh, K-pop. Like now in the back of my mind, I'm saying, okay, this is how we find these emerging niches. So like now, if we were going to continue down our traditional rabbit trail, and we're not because we're showing you how to use this function, we'd start looking at niches around K-pop, which is Korean pop music, which is actually becoming extremely popular in the US of all things, right? So, and I don't know how I happen to know that. I probably watch too much TV. But that's how like one little crazy thing like Stray Kids leads down one thing to another thing, and now we're looking at this crazy niche. But we'll get away from that. But let's look at the columns right here. Columns, we've got estimated search volume. We've got the price. The price.
That's like the average price. The average
price on page 1, right?
Yes, yeah, of the top. Not all of page 1, but we just take
the top
number of the top products there.
Okay, gotcha. Average monthly sales for the top
for
listing.
Those same ones. Yep.
Okay, so average monthly sales over those same ones. Monthly revenue is an average. Okay, and then the average number of reviews, right?
Yes.
Over like the top 15 or 20. So it's not specific to one. Okay, perfect.
Exactly.
So keep
and
driving this thing.
You guys for scratching my back. Actually, Tim knows exactly why I'm scratching my back. We had a very traumatizing paramedic moment at our office last week, and thank goodness Tim was there to help me with my medical emergency. But that's for another video. That I wish we had some of that content on video. But anyways,
that'd be awesome.
I'm going to start scrolling here, and you tell me if you want me to go ahead. I mean, I've already seen like 2 or 3 that are interesting that I'd probably want to look on Amazon. But
the first one I want to look at is cake boxes, and the reason that I want to look is why is cake boxes in industrial and scientific category?
That's a good point.
So we're just going to go over to Amazon.
Are in. Okay, yeah. You know what? I have noticed that for whatever reason, a lot of like boxes. Yeah, look at these. We got one kitchen and dining, which is what I would think it would be in. But look, the top 2 sponsored and the top 3 organics are all in the industrial and scientific category.
Yeah. Wow. So the very top listings, look how low those review numbers are. 719, 110. I mean, that's like extremely low review numbers. And he just hit this X-ray and the Chrome extension, which is amazing. And it's going through all those listings there on the left. And you can see, who's selling it. So a lot of FBA, very few Amazon, which is good. You can see their monthly revenue, which they're selling pretty well.
Yeah, this would be something that I would look further into because again, people are like, that's only like what the number one guy is only doing less than 20 units a day. Well, hey, that's good. I mean, I would rather have a bunch of products that are only selling like 10 to 20 a day as opposed to one that's selling 200 a day, and I'm going to be attacked left and right from the black hat, kind of sellers because I'm eating into their stuff. It's
also easier to get started in that because if you're only selling 20 units a day, you can get started with less initial inventory. And we don't know if this product's going to be great or not. So what if, the product stunk? We don't want to go too deep into it. But you saw how quickly we did this. This is not staged. This is not like we didn't know we were going. We're just jumping in this. So if we say, hey, here's a potential one, maybe we can buy a low MOQ number of these cake boxes and get started. And we did it like that. We did it so fast. And I'm looking at this based on just the price for, they're selling 20 boxes for $24. I suspect you can buy those for 20 cents lay down. They fold tight. I'm looking at that number like
look
3
at this one.
Organic listing.
I love this price point. $54. What in the world is, let me just take a look at this one. Why this would be more expensive. Specialty. Oh, I get it. Specialty. That's a pretty good brand name.
That is good.
With window 25 of them, maybe oversized or something.
Yeah, they're small. It folds down flat. That's a huge price point. Their listing is pretty good, but guys, they only have 19 reviews. So I suspect that would be something we could definitely compete in. And look at that high price point. And we know that they must be selling pretty well because they're organically really top, really high up. So check this out. They have consistently been selling this for a very long time. You can see at the end of May where they ran out of stock. Boom. And then boom, stock dropped back in. So they've been consistently selling this thing for a year, and it looks like at a consistent price. And they only have 19 reviews. So this is huge. Like this is something where I feel like I could compete on this. Now, the only question is, what does it cost to source this? So you might have to spend some time sourcing it to make sure that you can get, a low enough price. Look, they have a 1-year warranty on a cake box. That's kind of weird. That must just be some sort of dumb placeholder image, because surely they don't offer a 1-year warranty on a cake box. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow, that was
Yeah, I
easy.
mean-
So like just a few minutes into this, we've already found a product that looks good based on over 10,000 searches for cake boxes. And that's not even including other search terms that we could be looking at, right? And we would use, the way that we check that is go to like those top 3 or 4 listings and hit Cerebro and figure out how many other keywords are getting some traction on that. Bradley, do you want to show that really quick just once?
Let's take this one. It's doing about $10,000 a month. Take that. Or actually, no, I can go in there and I can just click on it. So here's the listing that we're talking about. Oh, it's a double pack here. So I'm going to go down here to the Chrome extension and hit keywords. It's going to open up Cerebro. I could have just copied that ASIN and put it into Cerebro. So what this is going to do is it's going to find all of the keywords that we've detected. It's in sponsored ads, all of the keywords that we've detected that they're in the organic rankings. So,
oh my gosh, look, cake boxes has 10,000 searches, but cake box has 6,000 searches.
Wow.
Yes, that is huge. And that's huge because that means there's a ton of search volume, a ton.
Let's see. I'm just looking here. Hey, the words that have been searched at least 10 times a day, average, and they're on the top half of page 1. Here we go.
Man, that's
what I don't see here is a brand name. So I like that because, sometimes, I don't know cake boxes. Like I wouldn't know a cake box brand name if it bit me in the butt.
No, you do. Special T. Now you know a brand name.
One though, isn't it?
No, I'm just saying now you know. Yeah. I'm trying to give you some credit here.
I bet you Special T, unless they're just really smart. That is a brand name, and a lot of their searches might be from Special T.
So I want to pause here and say something. Mm-hmm. Look at that competing products number. Yeah. All right. The competing product number, a lot of those are high, but I don't look at that number personally. I really don't, because all that means is there are, more than 60,000 results, so to speak, on cake boxes. People are indexing for all sorts of weird, crazy stuff. What's so great about this Blackbox keyword tool is if I had looked up cake boxes and seen this, I would have ran for the hills. I would have. But what this tool did is it shortcutted the whole process of figuring out relevant competition. So if you'll go back up there to the Amazon tab, Bradley, it says cake boxes.
Oh, back in Blackbox?
No. Go to the right one. One tab to the right. Up top, Amazon. Up. Scroll up.
Oh, this one.
Yes. So this is page 1 for cake boxes. I realize that there are potentially 60,000 or more listings ranking or indexing for cake boxes. But guys, look how little competition there potentially is. The number 1 listing only has 43 reviews. That's it. Just 43 reviews. Number 6 down there has 110, 121. Like those are still low. I would think something that combined, is getting 20,000 or more searches a month on page 1 would have a lot more reviews. Yeah. So that's one of the magic things about this keyword tool is it's showing me information that I would have never got to before because I might have got discouraged and run away from it, right? But this is huge. This is the power of this tool is it's showing us information that we didn't know we needed to have, which is relevancy, right? Yeah. And relevancy is not something that you can detect with a data point. Relevancy is not something that there's like this magic pivot table in an Excel spreadsheet that tells you relevancy. We literally have to go to the page and use our own God-given brains and look around and say, all right, can I compete with this? Does this make sense? Right? Yeah. And I'm looking at cake boxes. Some of the data is saying it's very competitive. And I'm looking at page 1 going, holy crap, I can smoke these fools.
Yep. And then just remember, guys, if you've been using the traditional, whether it's with Helium 10 or another tool, the traditional method of searching for products, or maybe you haven't been using a tool, have you even ever found a search or a search result that had over 10,000 searches where the number 1 guys have like 43, 7, and 19 reviews? I mean, a lot of people maybe have been doing the traditional version of searching for products and have found 500 products and have never ended up getting at a keyword that had this many searches where the ones who are on that page have so few reviews. But we were able to do that in like 2 minutes here. 2
minutes. All right. So let's go back to Blackbox and let's just click a couple more. Sure. And just keep checking. So cake boxes, bamboo blinds. I don't really like blinds because I know they're fitted. 4th of July plates. That's seasonal.
That's good to know though. Like it's obviously too late for here, but this probably would have come up even last week or 2 weeks ago. But then, hey, yeah, it's late, but I'm gonna mark this down and see what it's kind of too late now. But 2 weeks ago, I would have taken a look at this and seen, okay, what are the top ones here, and then maybe come January next year, come December, make some orders so I can be ready to do something better than those guys.
Yeah, so let's not go too far down. Let's just stop at ceiling tiles. I mean, the point of this is not to cherry pick; it's let the software do the work, right?
Ooh, look at that price point. I like that.
I do too. So I suspect this is a bundle of those drop ceiling tiles, which is not sexy. It's not fancy. It's not anything that I would have ever found on Amazon. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. But hey, if people are buying it, who cares? Look at this. All right, go ahead and hit X-ray. X-ray is that tool, those of you that are watching, that kind of shortcuts some of our scanning.
So about search for around 6,000 times a month. So definitely some demand. Let's take a look at these sales. I mean, the numbers might not seem high, but remember what the price point is on here. So you don't need to be selling, 30 a day. This guy is only selling, maybe 5 units a day, but he's making 13 or,
clearing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at the number of reviews.
Hold on. I'm trying to scroll over. It's still loading. Yeah. Look at that.
That's really low.
One guy in triple digits, everybody else in single or double.
So again, those of you listening, this is not a fidget spinner. This is not a hooded baby towel. It's not one of those big, fast, sexy, blowing and going products. This is something that you can sell where you fly under the radar. Nobody notices what you're doing, and you can do this over and over and over and over again. So people want a product that they sell $20,000 worth of a month. I don't. Because we get attacked, like Bradley said, everybody starts competing with us, everybody sees that, and then we have to buy mountains of inventory of that one product just to stay in stock to keep that ranking, which sucks because we're going really deep in one product. This, I mean, I can go to China or elsewhere probably and buy a low order quantity of these ceiling tiles. I mean, like 500 units, 1,000 units. And by units, I mean packages because these are bundles, I'm sure. Yeah, these are like 16 packs, it looks like, something like that. And I haven't spent a ton of money. But that gives me 2 or 3 or 4 months worth of inventory. And then once that's done and set up, I can go to the next product, the next product, the next product. So my business is built on 20 listings, 20 individual products, instead of going deep in 1 or 2 products and like wrestling the alligator every day with all of the problems that brings. And it was this easy. Again, it's not sexy. It's not pretty. And go ahead and click out of X-ray here. Let's talk about this relevancy again. And wait, let me pause here. Open up X-ray for one more second. Do you guys see on the top right where it says success score beta? This is where I assume, and you can tell me this, Bradley, it looks like Helium 10's playing around with trying to figure out how to give you guys a shortcut to tell you what's good or not. And Bradley knows I hate these tools. There's been a lot of tools like Jungle Scout and Viral Launch that do that because the data doesn't add up. And that's why I love that they, like Helium 10's telling you right now, hey, this is beta. Don't trust this. Like we're playing with this right now.
And we put what it is too. And if you look at any video I've done in this, I'll be the first to tell you guys, do not look at this as something that, hey, high score means good, low score means bad. What it is just a comparison of metrics, which everybody else's tools is too. But a lot of people don't tell you that. They say, hey, yeah, this means good, this means bad. But what we're just trying to do is just like with the IQ score. Remember the IQ score? We were actually looking at the number of competitors in Cerebro. Well, there was an IQ score so that we would have instantly known, oh, okay, there's a lot of competitors to low searches or vice versa. So all this is a way to show you kind of like, okay, for price, number of competing products, for seller distribution, it's got this, but without having to look line by line. But do not look at this as like, oh my God, 41, this is a bad product, or 75, this is a good one. That's not the way it works.
Also, before you get out of X-ray, look at the merchant fulfilled versus FBA. Look how many of those listings are merchant fulfilled. That's huge, which means if we sell an FBA, we immediately have an advantage on page placement. So go ahead and click out of X-ray, if you would, Bradley. This is like one of the things that I just start jumping up and down about. The number 3 spot, which we know had good sales, right? Mm-hmm. What do you notice about that immediately? My pet peeve.
Non-compliant, non-Amazon compliant image.
Holy crap, and only one image? Are you freaking kidding me?
No bullet points?
They have no bullet points. Look at their evaluations.
I've never ever seen one this low in the history, in the 1 month history of this tool that we just added.
And guys, we know that this is a search that's getting 7,000 searches a month just for ceiling tiles. And they're the number 3 organic spot with like the worst listing ever. It's merchant fulfilled. Like, this is complete garbage. And this is why I get excited. But it's been consistent when they stayed in stock. If you go back there and look at their sales rank.
I don't even see a oh, here we go. Here's the only text I think that's probably indexed on their, since there's no bullet points. There's only a title, and then this is their description.
This is awesome. So guys, here's the point. We did not like pick our parameters. We just got on this video and just wanted to show this to you. And we're already looking at like 2 items that I think could be very good private label products. The only question is what it costs to source it, you know, make sure there's enough margin in there for you. But this is not competitive. And all of the other software tools out there, all of the other, you know, strategies and techniques and practices are going to say, oh, just hit my knee on my desk. Do you hear that? Are going to say that this is too saturated because there's so many competing products. I don't give a crap. The way I determine whether it's competitive or not is I go to page 1 and I see what my page 1 competition looks like. And right now it looks like garbage. I mean, a 2.34 evaluation result on that listing. I've never seen one that low. What we were talking about, it's not terms of service compliant. Your number 1 picture is supposed to be all white background. They've got a non-TOS compliant image, and they're still ranked number 3. Like, this is freaking ridiculous. This is why I love this Blackbox Keywords tool so much. It scares the crap out of me, like I said before, because it's uncovering a lot of our personal products, and it's going to make us, you know, have to up our game and how we use techniques and strategies. But guys, nobody's talking about this tool. Nobody even knows it exists, which means there's a huge advantage for those of you that are using it, because this literally takes light years off of your research process. Light years. I will say this, there's a lot of different parameters you guys can punch in there in Blackbox. You know, minimum search volume, max number of reviews. Play with all of that, but keep it wide open. I've seen a couple people like in the Helium 10 users Facebook group saying, oh, I can't find anything. Well, that's because they're tightening it up too much. You're saying this one category with between 20 and 20,000 and 6 searches a month with, you know, between 12 and 13 reviews. Don't tighten it up too much. Let it roll out and do its thing. And don't immediately look at something like I was doing it just now. I was looking at something, dismissing it. I was about to say, oh, ceiling tiles, that looks boring. It doesn't matter if it's boring. Let's see if it makes you money. But I'm telling you, I've spent a lot of time with Bradley here lately on some private calls, sitting in the Helium 10 office, and we keep coming back to this tool. This is, to my knowledge, the first time you've done a little bit more in-depth training on this other than just like a quick AMA.
Yeah.
So you guys are the first ones to see it. Thank you, Bradley, for hooking up our audience with this. Guys, go out and use this tool. It is freaking awesome. And if you have any questions about it, just post in the show notes below, and I'll watch those. Bradley will watch those. And if you guys have any questions, let us know and we'll get those answered for you. But this tool is freaking powerful. Like I said, they haven't really started blasting it out yet, which means big advantage before the people jump on this. It's a great time, great opportunity for you guys to find your next private label product.
Sounds good.
Any final words of wisdom, Bradley, you want to share?
Just, if you have any questions, in Tim's Facebook group, which I'm in, just go ahead and tag me or tag him, and I'd be happy to jump on there and answer them for you guys.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this. We hope this is helpful. Smash the subscribe button here on our YouTube channel. If you're watching this or you're not watching this in our social media, go ahead and join the Private Label Legion Facebook group. Like our page, Private Label Legion. Send me a message on Facebook. Tell me what's going on. Let me know what you're working on. Love to hear from you guys. Thank you again, Bradley, for showing up, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
See you guys.